busy week. Well, about 5 weeks ago, I told you guys that I would be competing in a show, and I did keep my word. I did compete in a show on Friday.
Michelle now for about 5 years, 6 years, something like that. I think from before she turned pro. Always full of energy, great coach too. I mean, she's very, very successful with her team. However, it seems like I just saw her train, and seems like she's in pretty good shape. So I think the challenge is in order. So
Ron,
Michelle,
did you say challenge? Did you say challenge? What's the challenge?
the challenge is get in shape.
How long?
I think you can do it in 8 weeks.
8 weeks? 8 weeks. I can do it.
8 weeks it is.
Yo, 8 weeks, transformation, challenge accepted. Yeah! It's on. It's on. See what happens. Freaking me up the other day. He took a picture of the trophies. He's like, what's with these huge on these trophies?
In case I decide to log this at a later time, he has no idea I'm filming. We got my feet up. I feel great. This is for fun. Still got to do my hair and my makeup. 3.5 years, haven't been on stage. Let's just get silly. I think it's very important that when you compete, you need to remember that this is a hobby and this is fun, and that your first priority is your health. I don't care what anybody says. A lot of people are going to tell you that this is an unhealthy sport if you choose to be unhealthy about it. Health comes number one, both physically and mentally. And you just gotta have a good time. And remember to be happy with yourself, whether you're in prep, out of prep, 10 pounds up, 10 pounds down, water depleted, carved up. It's all part of the game. And that shouldn't dictate how you feel about yourself, your self-image, self-love, self-worth, all that jazz. I'd also like to add that nobody's making money in this sport, not at my level. So again, it should be fun and a personal goal that you have for yourself. Do it for you, no one else. Anything you would like to say, Randy? Anything you would like to say?
Snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches. Remember that. I would also like to add, if you feel like absolute garbage through your entire prep, you may want to reconsider your methods, what you're doing, why you're doing it. And in addition to that, contest prep is not an excuse to be an asshole to other people. It's not. If what you're doing is affecting how you treat other people or your relationships, it's not worth it for a plastic trophy. I'm gonna say it, it's not worth it. Those relationships should be lasting you a lifetime. The stage and contest prep lasts you a few months. I'd like to welcome you to the bathroom where women do some crazy acrobatic work in order to pee.
Here is a cup with a hole at the bottom of it. And if you know, you know. And if you don't know, we pee in this cup and allow the pee to go through the bottom hole so it doesn't splash into the water of the toilet bowl and splash onto our legs and ruin our tan. And now you know.
Do I look smart? A message to all the first-time athletes. Lay down, put your feet up, and chill the fuck out. Let your brain relax. There's nothing to think about. You put in the hard work already. You've practiced your posing 1,000,000 times. And now you rest. Our second tan almost flashed, everybody. And it's sushi time with some soy sauce. We're gonna eat. Yum yum.
Okay, this is how our tan's looking right now. We're how many hours before the show?
Just approximately 2 hours.
Approximately 2 hours.
Basically, every competition I have done has been somewhat of a science experiment. My peak week has been slightly different every time, and we're just trying to figure out which is the best method for me. So, sushi.
Coach, do you have any words?
Sushi.
Do you have any other words, Coach?
Sushi.
Alright, and this is after sushi.
Bye.
Video log update. My ear hole's closed, so I can't wear earrings on stage. Idiot. We came, we lost, but we had fun. And that's what the goal was here. Just have a good time. Until next time. Update. Someone stole my shoes. Good thing I brought an extra pair. Always bring an extra pair of shoes and an extra suit. God, first my ear holes close up, now my shoes get stolen. Finals are over, and I didn't place, but that's okay. You need to remember that it is a privilege to be able to do this in the first place. And if your happiness is solely based on how you place in a show, you're going to be really disappointed. So be happy and be thankful that you can do what you can do every day. Don't take that for granted.
And
Pizza is as good as you do at this place, I think.
thank you. I failed on the pizza earlier this week. That was an absolute fail, but
This is good.
this is good stuff. Here we go. Let's feast, celebrate.
Good.
Oh, yes. This is a good, great day at the Marlboro Diner. About 5 weeks ago, I told you guys that I would be competing in a show, and I did keep my word. I did compete in a show on Friday. I kept it super under the wraps because honestly, I have been juggling a lot of responsibilities, and I wanted to kind of squeeze something into the mix that's fun for me personally, not for work. You know, every day I'm working, every day I'm trying to take care of other people and look out for other people, and I just wanted to do something for me, and it was so much fun. After a 3.5-year hiatus, I got back on stage, I dusted off the cobwebs, and just no pressure. It felt so great to do something I love without the pressure of how are you going to do, how are you going to place, where are you going to place, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't place top 5. I placed just outside of the top 5. I got 6th place. I don't even care. Like, that thought was not even something that was in my mind as to where I was going to place. And I simply just wanted to be in the moment and experience competing, after a break. And, it's strange, you get off stage and people reach out to you, how'd you place? And it's like that's all that matters. And yes, like bodybuilding, you go and you're trying to get placed. It's very different for me. I have a very, very different mindset than most people do. And, my perspective on competing, my perspective on life is very, very different than most of the people out there. A lot of people don't understand my perspective, and that's cool. I've been through a lot personally. I've seen a lot personally. I do not take things for granted. I do not take life for granted. I honestly go to sleep at night grateful and hoping to wake up the next morning with my health, my abilities. Every morning I wake up, I am grateful I can bend down and tie my shoes. I'm grateful that I can go to the gym and move my body. I'm grateful that I can perform everyday tasks that people take for granted. Competing can pull people into a very narrow-minded mentality, a very narrow-minded perspective. I have a very big picture perspective on life and competing. This is a hobby. It is fun. No one is paying me to compete. I'm paying them to compete. I'm paying them to stand on stage and have the privilege of being able to do what I do. In the end, everybody on that stage has worked very hard to be there, and you're standing in front of a panel of judges who are just judging you. And when you think of it that way, it really makes you realize what's silly, but it's also fun. You have to have thick skin in this sport, and if the way you feel about yourself is dictated by the scoring of judges, you are going to have a bad time. In the end, we're all just trying to be our best selves. In the end, we are all overcoming some personal obstacles. You run a marathon, you're just trying to get through the finish line. Competing is my finish line. And from there, I say, what's next? I really think that people that compete, you have to have a bigger picture thinking or a bigger picture mindset. Understand what a privilege this is to do in the first place and how many people wish they can do what you do and cannot. And remember that you could wake up tomorrow and lose everything. So be thankful for what you got. Next up is, if competing makes you an asshole, I really wouldn't compete, because it is not worth sacrificing your friendships and your relationships with other people for a plastic trophy. So you get, my mother-in-law makes trophies. I can get you one for $2.50. Your self-worth, your value, the person you are is not dictated by a trophy. Nor can you control who's going to step on stage next to you. We know that. You could step on a stage and win a show this week and step on stage with another batch of athletes next week and get dead last. That's just how it goes. Now, one thing I was a little concerned about is that this was supposed to be an all-natural show in which all the athletes paid for drug testing and urine analysis. They didn't drug test anybody. They didn't drug test anybody. So, I saw it. I know. And in the end, any athlete could pass a drug test if they wanted to anyway. You're geared up until 24 hours before the show. I'm natural. I didn't take anything today. So dumb. Great concept. It's a great idea. But if you're making athletes pay for a urine analysis drug test, and you're not drug testing them, come on, guys. And again, that is why you cannot get your mind so locked and loaded on these things, because this shit happens, right? So you just have to enjoy the process, enjoy the sport for what it is. You take your prep seriously, but don't take it too seriously, where you're allowing relationships to be hurt over it, or your mental health to be hurt over it, or your physical health to be hurt over it. My priorities are my family, my relationships, my friends, my mental health, my physical health, my business, my employees, my clients. This is a hobby. I want to make sure I have a healthy,